Good afternoon. Welcome to our Student Societies Hangout. My name is Marion O'Connor and I'm from the UCD Graduate Studies Office. Joining me today is Eoghan Murphy, Student Societies, Vivian Whelan, International Society, Ian Fahey and Rachel Duffy, the Law Society, and Laura Davenport from the Musical Society. The format for the Hangout today is that Eoghan will give us a quick overview of the range of societies available in UCD, and Vivian, Ian, Rachel and Laura will give a flavour of their specific societies. Following on from that, we'd really like to hear from you, so please ask questions. You can do that on the events page, and the events page is on our Google Plus page. So within the events page you'll see a video, and directly underneath that there's a box where you can type in questions. We will be able to take questions right throughout the Hangout, so if you want to type in your questions while we're giving the presentation, please do so, and we'll take those just after the presentation. So I'm just going to hand over now to Eoghan, and he will introduce the panel and give a presentation. Thanks, Eoghan.
Thank you, Marion. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Fáilte. We're delighted to talk to you today about UCD Societies and the range of societies that are on offer here, and more so about getting involved in your time here in UCD. I appreciate that some of you may already have come through UCD as an undergrad or maybe previous graduate studies, but what we're really trying to promote across the campus, and you'll hear this from a number of groups throughout your year and your studies here, is that getting involved has a range of benefits, some of which we will discuss later. But before then, I would like to introduce the rest of our contingent here today who are going to be speaking on behalf of their own societies and on behalf of themselves and the reasons as to why they got involved. So first up, we have Ian from the UCD Law Society. Ian, give us a wave.
How's it going?
Next, we have, your cursor has gone a little bit slow there. If we go to Vivian from the International Student Society.
Hi.
And Laura from the UCD Musical Society.
Hello.
And we also have Rachel, who will be joining us from the UCD Law Society also. I believe Rachel is having a little bit of difficulty with her Wi-Fi, so she may be in and out. So what we will do to start is we will go through a very, very quick presentation to give you an overview of society life on the campus and what it means to be involved in societies. So here goes the presentation. Okay, so society life in UCD is of vast importance, or at least we do think it is. There are many reasons why people get involved. For a lot of undergraduates, it's a great way to settle in. It's also a great way to settle in for any of our international students, or for those that may be travelling to Dublin or travelling to UCD and want to get to know the place, want to get to know their university, and want to get to know new people. It's also a great way to develop your skills outside of the classroom. So we appreciate that your university life and your educational life, your top priority is your education, it's your studies, it's your research, and it's what you do within the classroom that is the reason that you came to college. What we would love to see, and what we really, really do try to promote, and why each of us are here today, is because we firmly believe that whatever you learn inside the classroom is applicable outside the classroom, in wider life, in wider society, and in whatever it is you decide to do with your life after you leave university. So what we are trying to promote is that you use your skills, whether you're studying in psychology, whether you're studying in science, whether you're studying law, biomedical engineering, whatever it is you decide to study, that those skills are completely applicable outside of the classroom and in a real world, real life setting. And some of those skills will be developed through involvement in particular societies, and other of the wider society skills and wider citizenship skills will be developed as part of your involvement in societies at large. It's also a great way to try something new. So as most of you have already come through some kind of an educational system, you'll, I hope, appreciate that college and university life is a great opportunity to try something new. You may not like it, you may absolutely love it, but it's a great way to make friends, to try something new, and to have fun, which is the most important thing. So here in UCD, we're in a very unique position. We are the largest campus in the country, and we also have the largest student body in the country. And as a result of that, we have a massive range of over 70 student societies. Anything that you can think of, I'm sure, can be catered for on this list. So with the 70 societies, there is a range of large societies. Our largest society has over 4,000 members, and some of our smallest societies have 20 to 30 members. And it's all about trying to find something that you feel may be of interest, may not be of interest, but something that you're willing to try. So some of our options are joining the larger societies, and we can see here this is one of the debates that was run last year by the UCD Law Soc, and it's in the Fitzgerald Chamber, which you'll find in the Student Centre. But the whole idea about getting involved in these bigger societies is that you get used to speaking in front of larger crowds. You get used to the hustle and bustle of having 400 people in a room that you may never have met before, but that it's something that may tickle your fancy. Everything from our drama society to our classical society, and even then onto our musical society. Everything is catered for. Whether you want to go into a professional outfit and you fancy yourself as an up-and-coming actor or actress, or even whether you find yourself going into the public eye and want to be the next big deal on the RTE News, or have your own chat show, an internationally renowned chat show where you introduce and meet and greet and talk about wide ranges of issues and politics and things that are of interest to people across the world. Some of our students have been the ones that have brought these internationally recognized individuals from across the world and across a breadth of disciplines to UCD to speak to the students of UCD and to discuss why student life is of importance for them and was of importance for them, and why they continue to introduce themselves and get involved in activities such as travelling halfway across the world just to say hello to the 24,000 students of UCD. And then, of course, we have our social get-togethers. We have award ceremonies every year, and each society often runs their own award ceremonies. And it's really all about getting involved, trying something new, making new friends, and realistically, whether you try it and like it, or whether you try it and hate it, you have tried something new, and there is a realm of benefits that can be reaped from that. So our encouragement is, when you come to UCD, that you join us during Freshers Week, which is your first opportunity to join and become a member of each of our societies. Our societies will be running events throughout the year. They'll be running events from next week, which is our undergraduate orientation week, the following week, which is week 1 of academic term, the first week of teaching, and then for the second week of semester 1 is Freshers Week. There will be a Freshers Week tent at the back of the Student Centre. So when you get to know the campus, you'll find the Student Centre very, very easily. It'll be very difficult to miss us. And the whole idea is that you come down, have a look around, see what's on offer, and see what may or may not tickle your fancy. Key message from today is get involved. Whether it's in clubs, whether it's in societies, the Students' Union, peer mentoring organisations, campus orientation guides, university life is all about getting involved and having some fun, trying something and helping to develop yourself as a person, as a professional, and whatever degree or discipline you want to go to in later life once you leave UCD, or even if you decide to stay in university life for the rest of your time as an academic or as a researcher. Getting involved is our key message from today. So a reminder that Freshers Week is the second week of semester 1. It will be held in the UCD Student Centre, and our encouragement is to come down, have a look around, see some of the events and partake in some of the events that are being offered by our societies across the campus and even within the city, and make sure that you do try your best to get involved and really make the most of your time at university, at UCD, to complement your graduate studies. If you want to know more about any of the societies that we have on offer and all of the events that they run, you can have a look at our UCDSocieties.com website. We have an event calendar on that will keep you up to date with all of the social events being run by each of our societies throughout the semester across the campus and within the city, and often our events take place nationally and internationally. So keep an eye on the event calendar for more. You can follow us on Twitter or on Facebook for regular updates, but our key message from today is to get involved.
Thank you, Eoghan.
So what we will do now is I'll introduce Vivian, who is the auditor of the International Student Society, and Vivian will give you a quick overview of what she does and what the International Student Society have to offer.
So, hi everyone, I'm Vivian, and as Eoghan mentioned, I'm from the UCD International Student Society. I'm a student here myself, studying veterinary medicine. I got involved with the society because I wanted to get to know people from all over the world and to meet people from different backgrounds and cultures myself. We're one of the largest societies and most active in UCD, and we have over 2,000 members. I suppose the nice thing about our society is we're so diverse in our membership. We have undergrads, postgrads, we even have some staff that are members. We have exchange students, full-time students at UCD, Irish students. Everybody is welcome, all nationalities, and we have something to interest everyone, I suppose. Some examples of our events: day trips to the Cliffs of Moher and the Giant's Causeway, which are two very popular attractions in Ireland. We can collect you in UCD on campus and take you away for the day. You'll have a great time, and we'll bring you back the same day. So it's really handy. Weekend trips all over Ireland: Galway, Cork, Kerry, Northern Ireland. Pretty much anywhere in Ireland you would like to see, we can take you there. We offer, like many societies, a free weekly coffee afternoon, movie nights and quiz nights, often with free pizza, which is always well received. Dinner nights, which are also very popular. We meet up on campus and all go out to dinner together, which is nice. This semester we're organising a salsa workshop, which is going to be fun. Kayaking, paintball, and we also visit tourist attractions in Dublin, which you might be interested to see. It's always more fun to go in a group. So, like Eoghan was mentioned, I just encourage you to obviously join our society, but definitely visit the Freshers Tent during week 2, where you can see all of the societies that are on offer.
Thank you, Vivian. We will go to Ian next, who is the current auditor of UCD LawSoc.
Perfect. Is my cursor set up yet?
No, we seem to have lost you.
Okay, we will come back to Ian when he joins us again. So moving next is Laura, who is the auditor of UCD Musical Society. Laura.
Hi, how's it going, everyone? My name is Laura, and I study psychology. I'm in my final year. In first year, I decided to join musical staff because I'd taken a year out, so all my friends were a year ahead of me, so I kind of felt like I didn't really know any people around my year. And once I joined, I got to know so many new people, and obviously, like, I love the stage and performance, so that obviously added to it. But I suppose the main thing about musical staff is people think you might just have to sing and dance to be part of it, but there's so many different aspects to it. You can learn how to do lighting design, sound design. If you're interested in art, you can do stage production design. There's so many areas to get involved in. And some people are a bit put off by the audition process for the musical, but we have a vocal group, which is no audition. You can turn up. We have a fantastic vocal director who arranges amazing songs, and people in vocal group have a chance to perform at little events during the year. We're in our 6th session, so we're young enough, but we've started to grow a good bit now. We've got over 700 members last year, and we're still growing. Some events we have, we stage 2 musicals a year, one each semester. The one in November is going to be Bonnie and Clyde, so it's pretty new musical, should be good. And then we have our vocal group, which meets us once a week. We have workshops throughout the year as well, if you want to try out an acting workshop, audition workshop to make people feel more comfortable. And I suppose the main thing is, not just in our society, but all of them, everyone kind of starts somewhere. So you might look at a society and think that they're all so used to it, and it might seem really intimidating, but realistically, everyone's a student here. So everyone starts somewhere. So I really think just get down to the Fresh tent, and all the members are going to be there willing to talk to you, and yeah, just join up, try something new.
Thank you, Laura. We seem to have gotten Ian back live, so we'll move to Ian next, who is the current auditor of UCD Law Soc.
Perfect. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect, thank you.
How's it going, guys? My name's Ian, as Eoghan mentioned. I'm studying business and law. I've completed 2 years, and I'm currently on a year out to manage the society, the Law Society. I know Film Society were saying that they're 6 years old. Our Music Society were saying that they're 6 years old. We're actually in our 104th session, so we've been around for quite a while in UCD. We're the second or third oldest society in UCD, and we would have close to 3,000 members. But if you were in the law school, you'd know that there's less than 1,200 law students. So the beauty about us is that more than half of our students don't even study law, because of the diversity and the wide range of events that we cater for. So the main activities that we would do, we would hold weekly house debates in the Fitzgerald Debating Chamber in the Student Centre, which is up the Clonskeagh end of campus, and they'd be held every Tuesday night at 7 p.m, and we'd debate a wide range of topics, either funny or serious. So we'd be debating in a couple of weeks about whether we should join the dark side of the Force to kind of celebrate the upcoming release of Star Wars, or we'd be debating whether the ghost of Sinn Féin's present, or the ghost of Sinn Féin's past haunts its present. And we'd also bring in guest speakers to kind of sway audiences over to their side of the debate, and everyone is welcome. We'd also hold moot courts. So mooting, if you're a law student, would be a bit like courtroom debating. And again, you don't have to be a law student, even though the vast majority of it would focus around case law that a lot of law students would learn in their lectures. However, last year we had a number of engineering students and arts students enter for the fun of it, and because that's what our society really stands for. Law Soc sounds quite daunting and quite serious, but we actually love having a bit of fun and a bit of crack. But when it comes to graduate students as well, we do really try and hold as many careers fairs as we can. Matheson and A&L Goodbody would kind of be two firms who are quite close to the society, and we'd work around them to organise kind of top careers fairs in the Student Centre or in the Sutherland Law School. Also this year, through this new project, National Model United Nations, we're going to be sending about a delegation of 20 people, undergraduates and graduates, to New York City as part of Ireland and UCD's first delegation to take part in the Model UN conference. And we're actually being helped a lot by Barbary International or Friary Law, who cater for those who wish to do the New York bar. So any of you who are doing a master's in law, or who plan to at least, we are in there with a lot of fantastic partners who wish or who at least want the society to do well, and are going to be giving amples and amples and amples of careers talks during the year. So make sure you do get involved. The reason I joined the Law Society was because I was told that if you get involved with any society, or as many societies as you can, when an employer looks at your CV, he or she does not just want to look at what grades you were, or what grades you received when you were in college. I mean, yes, there are a lot of students who would show up at 9 o'clock in the morning and leave at 3 or 4 in the evening, just doing their classes and going to the library. But your employer wants to know, who are you? What did you do in college? What sets you apart from the other person who got a first or a second in their degree? And that's what's so great about UCD Societies, is that if you take part or get involved in as much as possible, you're really building yourself up to be quite a successful candidate. If there's any job opportunities, they want to see can you interact with people, are you outgoing, rather than just sitting down and surrounded by 4 walls in a library and studying. So again, to echo what Owen was saying, definitely do try and get involved in as many things as possible. One final thing is that everyone loves to meet someone who they've always wanted to meet. So we also organise guest speakers to come in, as you can see here. So these are kind of only 4 or 5 out of the 9 or 10 people who we plan to bring in next year. So again, it's a wide range, whether you want Oscar winners or whether you want actors, whether you want comedians or television presenters. We also have lawyers and judges coming in, just to create contacts for yourself, because that's what we try to do. Yes, it's all well and good for us, to give you a bit of fun, but we also want to give you the chance to get a lot of contacts and to just get as much enjoyment as you can out of college, and that's what we're here for. I really would encourage you to join Law Stock, and indeed, Film Stock and Music Stock and everyone else who is here at this conference call. There's over 70 or 80 societies here. It's only €2, and it's well worth it. And again, just to give you an hour or two free a day. I know I'm rambling on, so I'm going to hand back to Eoghan, but thank you so much, and I really hope you enjoy your year, and I really hope that you get a lot out of it. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you, Ian. So our last speaker for today is Rachel, and Rachel was last year's auditor of UCD Law Stock. I know Rachel has been experiencing some difficulties with her Wi-Fi. But Rachel, if you're with us, you might fill us in.
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, it took me about 10 minutes to get there. If I go, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, hi guys. My name's Rachel. I was, as Eoghan said, the auditor of the Law Society last year, so I did Ian's job last year. I'm now a final year business and law student, going into final year, having taken the year out to be the auditor. I first got involved in societies actually when I was in second year. Well, I did the typical thing that everyone does in the first year in their undergrad, which is go to the freshers tent and join every society for the free stuff, which is a good idea because you get a lot of free things. But I actually didn't become involved in student life until second year, when I went to a talk about building up your CV and had a bit of a crisis when I realised that I didn't really do anything in college, bar going out and obviously going and sitting exams. So I first got involved in the Law Society with a debating competition that they ran for people who hadn't debated before, and really liked it, tried to get involved again, and then ended up serving on the committee for the society the next year, and then ran for auditor the year after that. I obviously ran the society that for last year's, but on top of that I sat on a few committees representing the Societies Council as a whole, which I think was quite informative on another level of how being involved in a society can actually kind of enhance your college experience far more than just being able to say I was a member of XYZ and I took part in this competition. I would highly recommend getting involved in something either that you're passionate about, that you actually really enjoy. If it's a club or a society, a sport, or if you're into student politics, I'd recommend the student union. But other than that, maybe something that you've never really tried before, that you've always had an interest to do it. It's always college, I think, is the perfect time to get involved in doing that, because what I found is, obviously the Law Society, their main activity would have been debating, but there was debating for every single level, and I think that goes the same for all the societies. They're happy to cater for every level of every kind of activity that you want to get involved in. So even if you think that you're never going to be the best rock climber that there ever was, there's definitely other beginner rock climbers here in UCD, and there's a group and a niche for everyone to fit into. So if you have something that you always wanted to try, now's the perfect time to do it, and I can't recommend getting involved in something more. It definitely enhances your college experience, and you may make a lot more friends. I think most of the friends that I've made here in UCD are probably through societies rather than through my class, and I think they will be friends for life as well. So I would highly recommend, if there's anything that you think you'd like to do, get in touch with the society, go down to Freshers Week, start chatting to the committee members, see what's involved, see what their kind of their schedules are, their kind of, if they have training or if they have shows or events, get involved, go to them, chat to people, and just see how you can get involved, because I really, really enjoyed it and I'd recommend it to everyone.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Marion, what we might do now is we'll move on to questions, if that's okay.
Great. Thank you. I suppose one of the things that I'm not sure about is what's the difference between clubs and societies? I'm not sure. I'll pass that to you, Eoghan, if you could answer that maybe.
Okay. Well, I suppose the main difference between clubs and societies, and Rachel mentioned the Students' Union there, which is the third organisation that students tend to get involved with on a large level. There are other smaller organisations throughout the campus, but if we talk about student-run and student-led organisations, the three largest generally tend to be the societies, the sports clubs, and the Students' Union. So if we look at clubs first, generally clubs tend to cater for those who look forward to a physical activity or physical exertion, and something that requires movement of their body, such as soccer, football, whether it's Gaelic football, American football, lacrosse, rock climbing, windsurfing, karate. There's an absolute breadth of over 60 clubs in UCD, and they cater for a massive, massive market. And if that's what you're into, then absolutely that's what you need to get involved in. At the same time, the Students' Union then would be the political organisation. They are the organisation that typically tends to represent students and represent student interest across the campus and nationally. So a lot of the time, UCD being the largest university in the country, you'll find some of our sabbatical officers, be it the president or one of the officers, speaking on behalf of the students of UCD. So they're elected each year towards the end of the year to serve a full year term, and they generally tend to be involved in the political campaigns across the university, representing all 24,000+ students that study here in UCD. So if you're involved in politics and you're involved in the hustle and bustle and you like watching, whether it's Parliament in the UK or keeping up to date with developments throughout the Dáil here in Ireland, or wherever it is you're coming from yourself, and politics and political interest is what really, really excites you, then the Students' Union is for you. In terms of societies generally tend to cater for expressions of intellectual ability, whether that's you getting involved in a debate and expressing what it is your opinion is and arguing why you feel that your opinion is valid and justified, then societies cater for that. If you want to express yourself in a dramatic way, whether that's through song or through acting or through music, UCD societies cater for that, be it the Drama Society, be it the Musical Society, be it the Music Society, be it Jazz Society. There is something there for you as well. UCD societies also cater for international groups who want to meet other people that have similar interests. And those interests generally as well tend to be intellectual interests, where you want to have a chat with someone, you want to meet a group that have similar interests to what you have, be it that you're interested in Japanese culture or you want to know more about what it's like to live in China. Sometimes our international societies, and it's not just the International Student Society that represents international interests. We have a Chinese Students and Scholars Association, we have a Japanese society, we have a French society, we have a German society. The list is ultimately endless, other than the fact that we only have 70 societies, but there is something there to cater for everyone. And to, I suppose, sum up, Marion, clubs, societies and the Students' Union all represent student interests in very, very unique ways, and societies offer a very, very unique experience and output for students who want to get involved in that. So whether you want to get involved in any of those groups, it is completely up to you. Even if you don't want to get involved, again, it's your decision. But our encouragement is get involved in whatever capacity you want, but do definitely get involved.
And in terms of, I suppose, how do you get involved? Is it that you sign up at Freshers Week, or do you go over to the Student Society's website, or how can you actually sign up for these things?
Laura, we might pass that question to you.
Yeah, during Freshers Week you can go down to the Freshers tent, and all the stands, each society has a stand set up there. You can talk to them, sign up there. Otherwise, if you miss that, you can go onto maybe their Facebook page or their website, just send them an email. Everyone's really flexible and friendly via social media, so you can do that. And then in semester 2, at the beginning, there's Refreshers Week, which is basically a smaller version of Freshers Week, where you can join societies that maybe you saw in semester 1, which like you'll practically be part of, and you can join us then at the stand.
Brilliant. Also, I suppose from a graduate student perspective, we would have obviously graduate studies requires a large time commitment. So you know, if students get involved in student societies, will it take up a lot of their time, and what is the expectation, I suppose? I can see there's huge benefits to getting involved, so I just was wondering how will they balance that, I suppose.
Vivian, I suppose you might want to take that one.
Yeah, well, I suppose speaking for ourselves, and I think it's the case with all societies, it's really up to yourself how involved you want to become. We have members who might show up to one event a month, one event every 3 months, and then we have people that come every week to a number of different events. So really it is up to yourself, up to your own timetable, what free time you have. There's no pressure on anyone to give a certain time commitment or anything like that. So I think anyone could really fit society activity into their timetable, even if it's just an hour occasionally.
Okay.
So.
And if students, we would have a substantial number of international students, and if they wanted to go on any of these events that you're talking about around Dublin or around Ireland, how do they go about that? Or they just join the society and then they'll be on an email list? Or
yeah, once you join the society, you will receive a weekly email, and that will have all the details of all the upcoming events. And then when it comes to signing up for trips, we're usually based in the Global Lounge. International students will be familiar with that space once they arrive, and we'll be selling tickets there. So you can come and chat to us and get more information if you need.
And what kind of costs are we talking about in terms of those type of events?
We're lucky, I suppose. We have an excellent relationship with a number of providers in Ireland, so we have secured great group student discounts. So students can generally attend our trips for a lot less than they would if they were to go independently.
Okay, great. And just to remind our audience, if you have any questions, please enter them into the box on the events page underneath the video, and you can type your question there, and we'll be able to take questions online here. So if you have any questions, please ask them now. I suppose, is there anything else that the societies would like to highlight for our students, for the graduate students? Just while we're waiting.
Is there something you want to take from that?
Yeah, just with regards to Freshers Week and getting involved, when you're signing up to a society, it only costs €2 for absolutely everything. So if you're joining law soc or film soc or dance soc or trad soc, whatever you're going to join, you know, it's only €2 to watch every single debate, to watch all the guest speakers, and to go to whatever. The career talks are free, obviously, but I mean, there's a huge amount of events. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of events that are put on by all the societies throughout the year. And I mean, if you were to even just like look at a calendar and just add up, you know, there's always something to do at during every single hour. So you know, it is only €2, and it is only a short walk to the freshers tent, and there's a huge there's a wide range of entertainment that goes on, not just throughout Fresh Week, but throughout the whole year. So it definitely is worth getting involved. So don't just think that, you know, just because you're a graduate student, that all of the membership is made up of undergraduates, and that we're only going to focus our attention onto the undergraduates. We cater for absolutely everybody, and you know, we really do try our best to include everyone. So don't be put off if you know it seems too fun, or if you think, no, I want to focus most of my time on study. You know, we provide good study breaks as well. So really do get involved as much as you can.
Can I also just mention something about SmartFit?
Go on, Vivian, yeah.
Yeah, and so just any graduates that are joining the SmartFit Business School, which is in Blackrock, we're one of the few societies that are active out there as well. We'll be attending international orientation out there next week. And we also run events at the SmartFit campus. And for day and weekend trips, we can do pickups and drop you off at the end at SmartFit. So it's really handy for you if that's your situation.
Great, thank you, Vivian.
Sorry,
and a final word maybe from Rachel, to do a very quick introduction maybe of what the highlights, the absolute highlights are from your experience as someone who has gone through what a lot of the others are only starting their journey on. What is it like, and what do you get? Why did you decide to get involved as the auditor of one of UCD's largest societies?
The highlight for my session, I think, would be interviewing Judge Judy and getting to be on the 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock RT News. As a law student, she's probably been a hero of mine since I was about 6 years old and could comprehend what a courtroom was. So getting to interview her and speak with her, and actually getting to go for dinner with her afterwards was a massive, not only a coup for the society and for UCD, but it was a personal kind of a bucket list item. I think that was massive, and I don't think that I would have ever, first of all, envisioned as somebody only coming into UCD that I would ever get that opportunity. But never, I don't think that you can really be afforded that opportunity in any other capacity either. It's quite unique, and I will gladly kind of look back on that for years and years to come, hopefully for the rest of my life, provided I don't get Alzheimer's or something. But other than that, I think the sort of, not quality I suppose, but the benefit of joining a society, and maybe not a large society, maybe one of the smaller ones, was kind of brought home to me once when I was speaking to the head of the society's office, Richard Butler, when he said to me, you know, it's brilliant that the large societies can bring in these great guests, and we do very well with that, but the smaller societies provide, you know, they provide just as much of a service to the students. They have the weekly coffee weeks every week. They have coffee mornings every week, or they run events that maybe people who would have found it quite difficult to come to college or difficult in finding friends, that's kind of their outlet as well. And I think that's something that really hit home with me, that the societies provide a massive service to students as well, and it's so worth getting involved, because everyone who are involved in societies, and the same in clubs, they're all there for a joint reason, and it's brilliant, and I cannot actually recommend getting involved in college. It just enhanced my experience massively, and I know even if you're a graduate student, maybe only doing 1 or 2 years, I just say go head first into it if you can, because I wasted my whole first year not really doing anything and kind of just waiting, and being too afraid, not really afraid, but I was really shy, so I didn't want to kind of approach people and say, how do I get involved? Coming from the other side of it now, what I would say is, if anybody ever kind of said to me, what can I do, how can I get involved, I was always more than happy to help. So it's just a case of sending an email, talking to somebody on a committee or an auditor if you can, talking to Owen, he'll be more than happy to help as well. So that would be my kind of recommendation to anybody who was coming into UCD as a graduate or undergraduate, to be honest.
Thank you, Rachel. Maybe Laura, some final words, and if you have a highlight of what you've done so far and why you have decided to become an auditor.
I suppose I was on the committee last year, and it was a lot of work, but like it was so good, like it's made me so much better. It's so busy. That's the thing, when like you've got all your college work and you're doing all your assignments, even though you might think that being part of the society is just going to be extra work, it isn't. It's a break. It's like breaks up your day. Like, it's something you look forward to in college. It's like, why are you going to college? Like, I spend probably my whole day in college now is half of doing society stuff, and like the other half then going to lectures. And I suppose it was just, I made some really good friends, and then thought I'd take the opportunity. I kind of took a chance and we'll see how it works out. But that's what you kind of have to do. So I'd say, you know, just if you think you're interested in something, you're like, might be a bit apprehensive or whatever, just go for it, because you're not going to lose anything. So just take all the opportunities you can and join us societies.
Thank you, Laura. Final words from Ian, and maybe a highlight of your society involvement so far?
I was involved for the last 2 years. First year I was first year rep, and last year as honorary lifetime membership convener, which is bringing in guests. I've been auditor since March, so obviously between March and the end of last year there wasn't a huge amount of activities going on, but one thing which was pretty cool was getting the chance to interview Eoghan Murphy, who was kind of one of Ireland's most renowned female poets, one of the greatest female poets of the 20th century, kind of from all over the world, and that was really kind of something that I really will not forget, because obviously I'd studied here during the Leaving Cert, and you know, to actually experience something that I'd actually learned kind of right in front of my eyes was absolutely incredible. And obviously, you know, our society has just launched this new initiative, which is first for Ireland, so I'm looking forward to seeing how successful that is. If it goes well, hopefully it'll be something that can continue on for years to come. So I can't wait for the challenge ahead, and I'm looking forward to meeting all the new faces, both undergrad and graduate students.
Thank you, Ian. Final words from Vivian, and a highlight of your society career so far.
Okay, so I suppose there's little highlights the whole time in our society. I'd often have people coming down to us in the Global Lounge just after arriving to Ireland, and they'd say to me, oh, can you help me? I've no friends, I know nobody here. So it's really rewarding, I suppose, when you see those people coming to events and making friends and leaving and saying, you know, thanks very much, like that's, like, this is what I wanted and all this kind of stuff. And also, I'm Irish, but I hadn't really seen any of Ireland until I joined the International Student Society, which was a bit ironic, but got to see all around the place, and it's really just so much fun and so worth it. So I really encourage everyone to get involved in something in UCD just to make the most of your time.
Thank you, Vivian. To, I suppose, say a few final words, and a thanks to Marion for hosting us here today. UCD Societies is about more than just attending events and interviewing internationally renowned guests. It's about the small little things, attending a coffee morning, getting to know that one person who helped you get through the day and make sure that you know where you're supposed to be for your lectures, whether it's someone in your class or someone that maybe could be a year or two above you, or maybe studied that program years ago and has now come back to do more research or more study, or has become an academic and is now involved in the teaching aspect of university life. UCD, as we've spoken about earlier on, and I hope that you get the sense of passion that each of the speakers have spoken with today, all of their activities and their involvement and their achievements to date have all been in a voluntary capacity. None of our society auditors get paid to do the job that they do. None of the students that get involved, whether it's attending that one event per week, as Vivian was talking about, or whether it's becoming the auditor of one of the largest societies, there is a massive breadth of opportunity there that you can tap into very, very easily. And each of our societies and our society auditors, their committees and their membership is all here to support students. And as Rachel was saying earlier on, each of our societies offers a phenomenal service towards the students in terms of support, development, whatever it is you want to get from your university experience, UCD has an option for you. Whether you want to take it or not is completely up to you, but we do have something to cater for whatever need it is you want to address. So finally, I suppose I'm going to bring up the last slide from our PowerPoint earlier on. The key is to get involved, whether it's with societies, the Students' Union, or with sports clubs. Have a look at the societies.com website if that's what it is you want to get involved in. All of the contact details for each of our societies are listed there. All of the events will also be listed. Our Twitter and our Facebook are updated very, very regularly to keep you informed, and each society will have their own social media accounts. Once you join, they'll be sending you weekly updates to keep you informed as best possible. And if you have an idea that you want to go with, approach your society, approach an auditor, approach a committee member, or approach another member of that society and say, I really want to run this event. I think that this campaign, I think that this support service needs more funding, needs more energy attached to it, needs more enthusiasm, or needs more attention. Whatever it is you want to do, there is a society there that can cater for it. If it's not already catering for it, someone will gladly take up on your offer. So the key is get involved, whether that is in Freshers Week, which is your first opportunity to become a member. So from next week and even throughout the summer, some of our societies have been running events and they will continue to do so throughout the term. You are most welcome at each of the events. Some of the events will be members only and they'll be notified well in advance. But in the event that you do want to become a member and you do really want to attend that event but maybe aren't a member to date, call on down, send an email beforehand and make sure that they're expecting you, and you can pay your membership then, you can join in with the activities. Just because you miss Freshers Week does not mean that you don't have another opportunity to join societies. Societies are open, inclusive and are active throughout the term and throughout each of the breaks. So keep an eye on the website, keep an eye on the social media, keep an eye on your emails, and most importantly, have a walk around the campus and get to know the campus, get to know the people that are on the campus, and enjoy yourself. Enjoy your time at UCD, whether you're returning to us as a graduate or whether you're coming from another establishment. We welcome you with open arms and we hope you get involved in UCD Societies and get involved in what it is UCD has to offer.
Great. Thank you, Eoghan. Just like to say thank you all for joining our Hangout session today, and thank you Eoghan, Ian, Rachel, Vivian and Laura for an excellent overview of the UCD Societies. Just as well, I'd like to remind our audience that we will be hosting the Grads Connect event on the 24th of September in the O'Brien Centre, and this is an event, a physical event for graduate students. It's a great opportunity for you to network and meet other students, and there will be student societies will be also represented at that event, so you'll have the opportunity to meet and chat with Eoghan and his colleagues then. We have 2 more orientation sessions coming up this week. Tomorrow at 11, Annabelle from the Students' Union will be talking about the services offered by the Students' Union at 11. And then at 3 p.m. we will have our final session, and that is with UCD Registry, and they will be talking about registration issues and fees issues that you might, or questions that you might have. So please join us at 11 and 3 tomorrow. And thank you again, and we look forward to welcoming you to UCD. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.